Sometimes you're right and sometimes you're wrong. Who knows the answer? Let's agree is one. It's much too late for war, not peace. It makes no sense for human eyes to feed, 'cause you can't see. Let's learn to disagree, can't we? Just be one family. The greatest love of all is to love yourself. When you're filled with love, you love someone else. Yes, it's when you do, it's when you love yourself, you love God himself.
Welcome to the Lessons of Love show. I'm Dr. Jennifer Alves, Doctor of Physical Therapy, and the author of the 10 Commandments for Loving Yourself. Today we're going to be continuing our series on the 10 Commandments for Loving Yourself. It's so important to learn how to love yourself so that you can accept true love and find true love that everybody out there deserves, right? So today's topic is Loving Yourself Commandment number 9. Do not accept toxic words. Now, what does that mean, don't accept toxic words? Well, let's first take a look at what the word toxic means. Now, according to the American Heritage Dictionary, the word toxic means poisonous. Think of what I'm saying here. Poisonous. So when we're talking about toxic words, we're talking about words that are like poison, that get into your brain and start to have all kinds of negative consequences on your thinking and maybe perhaps on your actions. So let's take a brief moment and discuss the consequences of toxic words. What's so damaging about some little words and they're tiny words. What people need to realize is the power behind what they say. There's power in words, even if they're little tiny words. What makes toxic words so dangerous? It's not like physical abuse, where there's an actual pain involved that you feel and then you stop. It's something that is insidious. It goes into your brain and it starts playing over and over and over, and you might not even be aware of it. That's what makes toxic words so dangerous. You're unaware of it half the time, and it can take on a little mind of its own. So let's for a minute discuss some of the negative consequences of toxic words. Now, this has been shown in different studies out there. For example, low self-esteem can come from hearing toxic words all day long. Oh, you're so stupid, or let's see some other things that people have said to us. Perhaps, you're ugly, or your friends can be calling you things that you don't even realize is going on until later on you're laying down in bed and you said, my friend said that to me. And then what happens is you start feeling doubt. You start doubting yourself. People say, oh, you're like a lousy cook, and you're a loser, and all kinds of things. So some of the consequences of having low self-esteem, of hearing toxic words all day, low self-esteem, self-doubt, that's a big one. And one of the biggest ones then is an internal critical voice. You become your own critic. And you start doubting everything you're doing. You might say to yourself, you know what, perhaps I am a loser. Maybe I am stupid. And then you're always questioning, did I do that right? Did I say the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? I don't know if I'm doing whatever. You become like this frazzled person, always questioning everything. And you walk around like you're walking on eggshells. Now, that's not a good way to live, is it? You don't need to live like that. Everybody deserves to walk around with confidence and self-love. So what I'm talking about here is I'm going to bring up ways to help you protect yourself from toxic words. Now, some people are unaware that they are giving toxic words to people. They might have heard them themselves their whole life, so they don't think anything of it when they say it to you. They're unaware that they're even hurting you. So instead of putting the blame on others, wow, that person is, needs to stop doing this. That person needs to go into therapy. That person. Let's just focus in on ourselves here and learn how to protect yourself. Because in the end, that's really what you can do. You can't always control other people. So let's go back to these toxic words. Some might say to you, you're a loser, you're a loser, you're a loser. I do a block and replace. Block and replace. Block and replace. I don't accept that. I don't accept that. I don't accept that. You might even be on the phone talking to someone who's sowing a slew of hateful things at you. You can take your hand and say, I don't accept that, I don't accept that, I don't accept that, I don't accept that. Instead of hearing, you're a loser, you're a loser, you're a loser, I don't accept that, I don't accept that, I don't accept that. Then you want to come back with something positive for yourself. So a lot of what people do, sometimes they exaggerate. That's a form of a little bit of verbal abuse. You never clean up your room. You always make a mess when you're doing this and that. These words never and always are very destructive, because chances are you're not always making a mess and you're not never cleaning up your room, right? So you can come back with a comment like, you know, you never get your homework in on time or do your homework. That's not true. I don't accept that. I do my homework. I had one day when I didn't get it in on time. That's a more accurate comment, right? So we want to develop accuracy in our internal thinking instead of these generalization statements that can cause a lot of pain for some people. So let's go back to the tools. You block and then you replace. Block and replace with something positive or something accurate. So let's see how we can do like a positive comeback. Let's see. Oh, Jen, you're so stupid. I don't accept that. Matter of fact, I just got an A on my test. I'm doing pretty good. Or, your brownies taste really gross. I don't accept that. Besides, my self-esteem is not based on my brownie making. It's okay. So, come back with have some comebacks. One thing that you can do is come back with positive affirmations, and it could be even while you're sleeping, see? You can come back with a CD or a DVD that you leave on that says positive things to you. Have you seen these in the stores? You can get them in the stores. They come back and say, I am a beautiful person. I like myself. I have the ability to do things. I am a confident person. They hit with these subliminal messages that go into your brain. So even if you're out there blocking messages, it's not as effective as blocking and replacing. You have to push out the bad and in with the new. And that is going to be a form of protection for you and a way of protecting yourself so that you can develop an inner confidence, an inner beauty that everybody out there deserves to have. Now, one thing that's really on the rise is cyberbullying. Now, cyberbullying is not physical, is it? You're not actually fighting the computer, you know, having people's fists come right out of the monitor or something like that. That's not what's happening with cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is words. It's words and it's pictures. And these words that people say and threats that they make can cause so much destruction in that person's life that many kids talk about harming themselves, perhaps committing suicide, especially if these things go viral. So what can you do about that? Number one is, if you're on your social networks, be aware of who's on your networks. You don't have to have people on the networks that are saying nasty things to you. You have a delete button. You can hit delete. You can also report anything that's going on to the proper authorities. So keep in mind that when you're being abused, any kind of abuse, physical, verbal, the most dangerous time is when you're looking to exit that situation. It's very dangerous. You have to have a safety plan in place first. You have to have an exit plan. People might say, I've heard this many times with the teenagers out there, oh, I can't tell the guidance counselors, they're not going to be of any help, or it's just going to make matters worse, and oftentimes it very well could do that. That's why it's important to tell a trusted adult, somebody that you trust, that you can confide in, so you can work out a plan together. You know, and it doesn't necessarily have to be your parents, doesn't have to be the guidance counselor, but it has to be somebody that you can talk to. There are all kinds of 800 numbers out there, and at the end of this show, you'll see them posted there, who you can call if you feel like you need to get help, okay? So what we want here with our series in the 10 Commandments for Loving Yourself is for you to learn how to take care of yourself. Stop pointing and blaming other people, because you can't control other people. You can control your environment. You can control what you do and how you think about yourself. So, again, if you're on a social network and you don't like what people are saying, get them off. If they're not cherishing you, They don't deserve to be in your Facebook network of friends, right? You can control that. Friends at school. You find out they're not really not your friends. You don't have to continue hanging out with them. Why do you want to hang out with people that don't cherish you? That's something to think about. You want to hang out with people that see you as a rare gem. Someone that cherishes you. There are people out there that will cherish you. You don't want to hang out with bad friends because there are no friends for you. You want to hang out with friends that actually build you up or make you feel that you're being cherished. So, the big message here today is that you have control over your life. You have the ability to change your life at any time you choose to do so. Take some of the tools that we've gone through the 10 Commandments of the series so far and how to protect yourself. The one I taught you today is I don't accept that. You don't have to swing your hand around like I do. I do that quite often, actually. You don't have to do it. You can just say it in your mind. I don't accept that. I don't accept that. But sometimes you just need to do it. And it's okay if you do that. Replace yourself. Positive messages, positive messages, positive messages, positive music, positive affirmations. I can't say that enough. Do you see how that's starting to affect you, perhaps, hearing the word positive? These messages are going into your mind right now as you're sitting there watching. That's incredible. So, last, some of the things that people might have said to you, you might actually start believing them yourself. You might feel that maybe you are stupid or that you don't deserve to, or that you're not special. I'm going to reiterate here today that everybody out there is special. The DNA proves it. No two people are the same. Everybody's unique and different. And you can have the love and the life that you deserve. But you need to love yourself for that to happen. So, anyway, enough about what I have to say about this. Let's take it to the street and see what other people have to say about it. So we're here today with Jerry Orrs out in California. It's so fun to be here and I get to finally meet you.
It's very nice to meet you too, finally.
I know. So Jerry, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, basically, I started an organization called Kids Resource. So I started this organization to deal with all problems in the world through visual education.
Wow, that's impressive. And bullying is a huge problem, as we all know, based on all the research that's out there. Our special topic today, we're involved in a series, The 10 Commandments for Loving Yourself, and our special topic today is do not accept toxic words. So I have a question for you, Jerry. Bullying comes in different forms, obviously physical and even financial out there. We've talked about that in some of the other series that we've done. You know, sometimes people just might say something very passing, like, that's kind of stupid, or they might not even talk to you at all. Do you think that words can harm people?
Yeah, you know, they have that saying, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Honestly, I don't know how true that is, because words, they really get you down. They're just little letters, but they can really get down and strike you in the heart. And it's really powerful what words can do. They can motivate you to start an entire country, or they can make you feel bad and be depressed, and it's just horrible what toxic words can do.
I really don't, and you know, that you say that, I don't really think that people realize just how powerful the spoken word is, and what you were saying, positive or negatively. I think people just sometimes think they can just say something, goes in one ear and floats out the other ear, right? But that's not what happened, as we know. Sometimes something will get stuck in your mind. It'll go, you know, round and round and round, and it'll just kind of stay stuck in your mind and affect your self-esteem. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It just sticks in your mind. You're thinking, is that who I really am? Am I a big little jerk and a minority human? Am I that? You know, honestly, those words are not true. What words you create in your head are the words. If you're the president of the world, you're the president of the world. You're who you want to be, and who knows, maybe in the future, if you try hard, you can be that person.
I think what he just said is, we need to focus on that, Jerry. You just said that the words that you create for yourself are the ones that, what did you say, stick in your head, or that should stick in your head?
That's who you are. That's who you are. The words you create are that's who you are. And let's make it positive, you know? Nobody wants to be depressed, so, you know, if just like every day I'm thinking I'm trying to make a difference, and I'm trying to stop bullying and havoc and all these horrible problems in the world, and that's the words I'm creating in my mind.
Now I understand that you have a 12 seconds of silence that you started. Can you just say a little bit about that?
Yeah, 12-12, I want it to happen every year. It started in 2012. Basically, what it's about, I want people to stay silent the whole day, but people have to work, shop, eat, whatever the case is. So I'm only asking for 12 seconds of silence at 12 p.m. And you're probably asking, silence, what does that have to do with anything? Well, people that are bullied, and I know I've been bullied myself too, people that are bullied, they stay silent because they're scared to speak, that they'll get pushed back down for whatever they say, pushed back down into the earth like they're nothing. So if we just all stay silent like that, and you see how it's like, say nothing. If you're just like all day, all your life, it's sad and it's painful. To see how it feels, it's just horrible, and I want people to see that, to see what bullying can go to, and join my cause to stop bullying, not just schools, but homes as well.
So Jerry, I have to say that you're very impressive.
Thank you.
Yes, you seem to, you're an activist, you're a producer, you're a motivator. I mean, these are wonderful things, and it seems to me that you have been able to overcome. How do you think that you were able to do that?
It was hard. I was bullied myself in 3rd grade, and because I was very open. I have 2 moms. I'm Jewish, just moved here. They're bullying me. Oh, you should go back to Florida. Oh, you are horrible. Oh my God, you're not American. It was horrible what they were doing, and I came home every day thinking, my God, do I deserve this? Do I deserve to live like this? And what kept me going is honestly my fuel for a life to enjoy myself, because it was my dream to go to California, and now that I was finally in California, I was like, my God, this is torture, and that just kept me going and going. The torture and the pain kept me going, and still brought me back down.
So did you ever think of switching schools or any?
I was thinking that this was my fault, that I did something terribly, terribly wrong, and it was really, really hard, honestly. So when I finally told my parents, they're like, oh my God, oh my God. And they told me what bullying is and how to deal with it, and I was like, all I thought was, honestly, I wish I had told them earlier. So this is a message, point of the story. Tell a trusted adult if you're getting bullied. And sometimes it's your own parent that bullies you. I love my parents very much, shout out to my moms. But it's sometimes even your own parent that bullies you, and you just need to tell a trusted adult. Tell a trusted adult, tell a friend, tell somebody that can do something about it to stop your pain and your suffer.
So reach out there and get help if you're getting bullied. That's the advice that Jerry's giving today. Maybe go to a counselor at the school.
Counselor, principal, even sometimes it goes to an extent when maybe the police, it's not always that, because it's usually if the parents are abusive, then yes, definitely. It's ridiculous how bad it can go to, and kids lose their lives from bullying accidents and suicidal acts because they're heartbroken and they feel like, maybe I don't deserve to live and maybe I can't live anymore with this. So
what about the kids out there, and I've heard this quite a lot with interviewing people, that they say that if I tell somebody, it's only going to get worse for me. That if I tell the